Hey guys, welcome back. It is chow time. Hope you had a great day of activities, and we're gonna get our dinner prepped here. This one's gonna take about an hour, but it is a no muss, no fuss, super easy dish to prepare. And we're gonna lid this thing up, and we're literally gonna get it cooking for an hour, and we won't even do a thing with it till the hour's up and it'll be ready. So this is gonna be our chicken teriyaki mixture. So the first thing we're gonna do, of course, is get our 8 coals underneath of our Dutch oven. This again is going to cook on 375, which again translates to 9 coals underneath the Dutch oven and 17 coals on top. So we're going to get our 17 coals on top as well. I've got some extra briquettes in reserve also. This dish cooks for a full hour, so be ready at about the 30-minute mark. You're gonna wanna add 4 fresh briquettes underneath, 4 fresh briquettes on top, and that's gonna keep that heat going and keep that constant temperature. But that's just about the 30-minute mark. If it was cooler out today or more windy, we'd do it at the 20 and the 40, but it's about 80 degrees, so I think we're just gonna have to do it once. So super, super easy to prepare. Once again, we've got our 12-inch Dutch oven pot. We've lined it with foil again because it's going to make cleanup super easy. And I've got 3 pounds of chicken tenderloins here. There's about 18 of them, so everyone gets about 2 for a normal serving. So feeds plenty. And I am literally going to put that right in the bottom of the pot. Spread it out a little bit. If your kids are doing this, remember this is raw chicken. This isn't cooked, so we want to make sure we're not touching it with our hands, little as possible. And if we do, we want to get washed up immediately afterwards because this is a raw chicken dish and there can be lots of bacteria in there. This is our mixture. So if you remember back in our prep video, we had a ½ cup of ranch dressing, a ½ cup of teriyaki sauce, and a ¼ cup of soy sauce that we had to blend together. So we've blended all of that together in our mixture, and we are simply going to pour this nice and evenly all over the top of our chicken. And if your ratios are good and you got your chicken down nice and flat, this should wind up covering your dish like this. And I'm just going to kind of fill in the side here a little bit where it was a little bit high. Make sure we get a good cover on everything. Oops. All right. So we have everything good and covered. On top of that is always my favorite part. We're going to add 3 ounces of bacon bits. We use real bacon instead of bacon bits. Keeps the salt down and it's a little bit healthier. And we're going to give that a nice layer of bacon. Bacon makes everything better. All right. And lastly, we've got 3 green onions chopped up here, and we're going to sprinkle them on top as well. Give it a little bit of zip here at the end. Now guys, that looks absolutely beautiful. That is ready to cook. We are literally going to put our lid on there. Make sure we get a good seal. Wow, that's pretty warm. Forgot to take that off of there. Make sure we get a good seal. And we're gonna come back in 30 minutes. We're not gonna open it. There's no reason to peek on this one, but we're gonna add a couple fresh coals, 4 fresh coals to the bottom, 4 fresh coals to the top. I'll see you then when we take care of that step. Enjoy. All right, gang, we are back. It has been just over 30 minutes, about 35 minutes or so. You can see a lot of our charcoal is starting to gray out a little bit. It is still really, really hot, but we want to make sure we keep that constant temperature all the way to the end. And this is a really long cook. This is a little bit longer than usual. This is an hour, maybe a couple minutes more. We'll test it with the chicken. So I had some fresh coals going about a ½ hour ago, and I'm just going to add 4 or 5 coals to the top, 4 or 5 coals to the bottom to make sure we don't lose any of that heat or temperature along the way, and we stay pretty consistent. Cast iron stays hot for a really, really long time, so this is really just to make sure we stay consistent. The ones on the lid do most of the work. There's almost 20 briquettes on the lid. There's only 8 or 9 underneath. We added a couple more. That just keeps the flow and the convection moving through the pot as well. So we'll see you guys back in about just under 30, and this thing should be wrapped up. We should be ready to go. All right, guys, Katie and I are back for the last time this weekend. Our campground chicken teriyaki has been in the Dutch oven now at 375 for just over an hour, about 5 minutes over an hour or so. We have not peaked yet, because remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. So we're gonna have a big reveal here. We're gonna take the lid off. We're gonna scoop one of those tenderloins out, make sure it's done all the way through, but past experience says this thing should be ready to go, and we should be able to feed some hungry campers. All right, let's check it out. And look at this, we've got a nice mixture with all of our soy sauce and our ranch and our, what else was in there? The ranch, the soy sauce. There's something else we put in there. Oh, all the teriyaki mixture, of course. So we're gonna mix this all up. This chicken looks more than done. Let's put one of these out on the plate here, Kate. We're just gonna break that open with a fork and make sure this thing is really completely finished. I think it should totally be. Look at that. Nice and juicy on the inside, really juicy on the inside. Thoroughly cooked, and this thing should be absolutely delicious. Man, that is good. So we can serve this over rice, which we talked about. You could even cut these up a little bit, put them in tortilla shells. Everyone can have a soft tortilla. You can put your own toppings on it. That is absolutely delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed spending the weekend with us cooking. We've enjoyed having you in our home and in our driveway. A lot more videos to come in the future. We've got some new things planned. But for now, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.